Time yesterday, Senate Democrats held the floor trying to gain support to stop the nomination of now Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos. This morning, they are trying to do the same thing, but this time stop the nomination of Jeff Sessions for Attorney General. You are looking at a live picture from the Senate floor where leaders have been all night. A vote on Sessions' nomination is expected later today.
But on the Senate floor last night, things took a heated turn. Brad Jones joins us this morning with a look at that. Good morning, Brad.
Good morning to you. Heated, just one way to describe it. The session started last night. As you can see, it is still going on this morning at this hour. And now, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren being barred from commenting after this exchange.
And this is what it said. They are mothers, daughters, sisters, fathers, sons, and brothers.
Mr. President.
They are.
Mr. President.
The Majority Leader.
The senators impugn the motives and conduct of our colleague from Alabama as warned by the chair. Senator Warren, quote, said Senator Sessions has used the awesome power of his office to chill the free exercise of the vote by black citizens. I call the senator to order under the provisions of Rule 19.
Mr. President.
The Senator from Massachusetts.
Mr. President, I am surprised that the words of Coretta Scott King are not suitable for debate in the United States Senate. I ask leave of the Senate to continue my remarks.
Is there objection?
Object.
Now, during yesterday's debate on Sessions' vote, Warren reading a letter written by the late Coretta Scott King in 1986 that was critical of Sessions. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell stopped her, citing a rule against impugning another senator, saying that she was violating that rule. Warren now barred from speaking on the floor for the remainder of the debate over Sessions' nomination, which is expected to wrap up later on this week. And now, Warren herself speaking up about that situation. Here's what she had to say to CNN.
Let's just be clear. There have been some hard words on the United States Senate through the years, but all of a sudden, when I'm reading something, a truthful statement from Coretta Scott King, the answer is nope, can't say that. Well, I'm going to tell you this. They can shut me up, but they can't change the truth. What Coretta Scott King talked about Jeff Sessions doing back in 1986 is something every American should know about.
Well, McConnell went on to defend his decision as well, saying after she appeared to violate the rules, she kept talking even after being warned. Now to the other contentious issue right now, the travel ban, and a ruling could come as early as today after an appeals court heard oral arguments against it. That meeting started yesterday evening around 6. Even if a decision is made today, the entire process could still take several weeks.
The court upholds the lower court decision, then this is going to last for a few weeks more, certainly.
President Trump's travel ban hangs in the balance as judges in the Ninth Court of Appeals could rule against the White House. The Department of Justice arguing to the court to reinstate the temporary ban on immigrants from 7 majority Muslim countries.
The president determined that there was a real risk. That's why the president determined that the best course was a temporary, it's a short halt in entry for 90 days while these procedures are looked at.
2 states, Minnesota and Washington, challenged Mr. Trump's executive order. Their lawyers say the states are negatively impacted by the ban.
We had students and faculty at our state universities who were stranded overseas. We had families that were separated. Defendants have not explained how they would workably implement the narrower order.
Republicans are mostly defending the ban, with some admitting problems.
Where I think the order went awry was when they were looking at people who had dual citizenship, people who had already had visas, who had already gone through a process. So I'm hopeful now that they will have a more deliberative process.
Strategists say the White House was not able to make an effective argument to the judges.
I'm not sure he was top of his class way back in law school.
But other analysts say the president has a lot of leeway to make decisions on immigration.
Traditionally, the president gets a lot of deference. He says there was some kind of imminent risk.
No matter what the court decides, the case is expected to end up in front of the U.S. Supreme Court. Well, Betsy DeVos now Secretary of Education. Vice President Mike Pence administered the oath of office last night. You may remember this time yesterday morning, Senate Democrats were still debating her vote. Vice President cast the deciding vote in a tiebreaker after it ended up 50-50, and of course his made it 51. And once again, that the battle over Attorney General going on right now. And, you know, I think Democrats were hoping for that single vote that would have pushed him over as far as DeVos. They might be a little more intense right now trying to block Sessions.
Yeah.
And President Trump been in office 3 weeks on Friday, and still a lot of cabinet appointments that need to be passed. So see what happens. All right. Thanks, Brad.
Thanks. A teacher with Alamance Burlington Schools faces charges after reports of sexual abuse involving a 15-year-old.
That teacher, Cynthia Rayfield Hall, scheduled to appear in court this morning. Fox 8's Nick Sturdivant live at the Alamance County Courthouse with this update. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning, Melissa. And Halls is expected to make an appearance inside that Alamance County courtroom this morning. And according to Alamance Burlington School System's website, she was a 6th grade teacher at Turrentine Middle School. And Hall is charged with 2 counts of statutory rape and sex act with a student. Burlington police say that they started investigating yesterday after they received a report from the Department of Social Services, but officers say the incidents did not happen on school grounds, and the child involved was not a student at Turrentine Middle School. And officers say the encounters happened between June 2016 and this past weekend. Again, Hall expected to make an appearance in court this morning. Back to you guys.
We'll stay on top of that one for sure. Nick, thanks.
A man is in jail after deputies say he killed his own son-in-law and then assaulted his daughter. Investigators in Stokes County say they were called to a home on Shepherd Mill Road in Danbury. Deputies say that 63-year-old Joseph Lawson and his daughter were involved in a domestic dispute, and that's when Lawson assaulted her. The daughter's husband, Brian Sells, came to the house, and that's when deputies tell us Lawson shot and killed Sells. Police charged Lawson with murder and also assault.
Applications for concealed carry permits are tapering off after hitting an all-time high last year. In 2016, Guilford County issued nearly 6,000 concealed carry permits. That's compared to the 3,600 issued in the year before. Officials say more people requested permits during the 2016 election and more women applied. But from November to January, permits dropped 17%. In North Carolina, a concealed carry permit costs $90 and requires a training course.
You should know how to safely handle that weapon. Members in your house that may come across that weapon that are of age should know how to safely use that weapon. And I think a safety class is a great idea for individuals.
Now, although the numbers are down a bit, getting an appointment could still take longer than usual. You'll likely have to wait up to schedule one it takes anywhere between 45 to 60 days to get that permit. You don't have to